welcome back to the Antrim Forum in Northern Ireland as we're ready now to watch England against Wales. An eagerly anticipated matchup on this penultimate day of competition. This is the last full day at the Netball Europe Open Championship, brought to you live and exclusive by QTV Sports and Stream UK. I'm Alison Mitchell with you through until the conclusion of the event on early Sunday afternoon, and the Welsh fans are out in force to support their team. In this, the performance section of the event that includes also Scotland, Northern Ireland and the invitational side South Africa and Trinidad and Tobago, but this does form part of the European Championship proper, with the title up for grabs. And with me to enjoy this match is Lynn Carpenter, former England international and chair of Netball Europe. This should be a tantalising match, Lynn. There's going to be lots of support here for Wales in particular around us.
There will, Alison, and it's almost like the, I think people say sometimes the old enemy, but actually off court, you know, there's a real good rapport between the two sides. Interestingly, Wales entered this game as the Netball Europe Open champions. The last time we held the Open was in 2013, and Wales came away from that with a victory. So all to play for today. I'm sure England will want to reassert themselves as the top nation within the region here, but I think it will be very competitive today.
And of course the Netball World Cup around the corner, coming up in August in Sydney. Helen Housby, their goal shooter for England, will be one of those hoping to make it onto that plane. You can buy tomorrow's coverage, presumably you've already bought today's, that's why you're watching us, but you can buy a day pass for tomorrow, the conclusion of the event, for £9.95, and if you've bought the tournament pass for £19.95 for the whole event, that will give you access to every match that's been played as a download. It'll be available from Monday. So let's have a look at the two teams and see how they match up for today. Tracy Neville is trying different combinations to get a look at as many different players as possible. She's opted to start with Sonia McClamer at goalkeeper and Layla Gusguth at goal defence. At wing defence is Stacey Francis. Centre, Sarah Bayman. Wing attack is Sasha Corbin. And the shooting combination, Pam Cookie, the captain at goal attack this time, alongside Helen Housby. And there is Housby. She played the last two quarters against Scotland when England won 60 points to 16. As for Wales then, Rosie Pretorius starts at goalkeeper alongside goal defence Fern Davies. Wing defence, Susie Drain. Centre, Kyra Jones. Wing attack is Bethan Dyke. Goal attack, Emma Thomas. And goal shooter is Chelsea Lewis. So Davies and Dyke come in for Kidner and James. Two changes from Wales's win over Trinidad and Tobago. So in terms of the European Championship, England, well, overall they've played 3 and won 3, but in terms of the title race, this is their second title match. They beat Scotland 60-16, so they have 2 points with 2 to play. Wales beat Trinidad and Tobago, but they drew with Northern Ireland, so this is their second championship match. 1 point on the board with 2 to play. At the moment, Northern Ireland are top with 3 points from 2 matches in the title competition, but England will hope or even expect here to get 2 points on the board against Wales. Straight into Housby for England then, having to go up for that rebound.
Yeah, great defence by Wales in there, pressure on Housby, and uncharacteristically missed her first shot, and Wales bring the ball down.
Wales looking to work that ball into the circle then. Emma Thomas and Chelsea Lewis, the two shooters for Wales, and Lewis asking for the high ball, and she does. Up against Sonia McClamer, one of the most effective keepers in the competition.
England will want to get the turnover on the Wales centre pass straight back.
Pam Cookie getting a hand in the way.
Very good hands by Gusguth.
Sorry, Gusguth. Pam Cookie down the other end, goal attack.
Well, Tracy Neville is looking for versatility from her players, but I'm not quite sure.
I don't think we'll be seeing her in the goal defence position. Here is Jones working it in. Getting support on the edge of the circle. Bayman with the tip.
Yeah, Bayman was offside, so well, pop it in and out to
Emma Thomas. So thrown from the back of the court. Thomas, oh, very, very quick from Gascoigne.
That was really well read by Gascoigne. Realised that they were going to pop the ball down, trying to get through to Lewis, Chelsea Lewis, and England bring it out.
Interception by Kyra Jones, still sporting that heavy strapping on her right thigh. Here is Cookie.
First couple of minutes, a little bit of not quite anxiety, but haven't quite settled at each other. The teams haven't settled down yet. Very good defence, unlucky there. I think Davis was caught on the arm of Cookie.
Bayman with the centre pass for England, but the umpire spotted infringement.
It was one of the ones we talked about yesterday. Corbin was alleged to be an offside at the centre pass, so a cheap, unenforced error giveaway there for Wales, which they'll be hoping to capitalise on.
And England ball. McCloma moves it out through Bayman. Sasha Corbin to the corner where Housby is. Nice switch across the circle. And into Cookie. Housby setting herself up for any rebound. Penalty pass or shot now for Pam Cookie. England captain puts England ahead.
Really good lean there by Pretorius, the Welsh goalkeeper, although Cookie still scored.
It's the voice of Lynn Carpenter with us, former England international and chair of Netball Europe as Wales find Chelsea Lewis right next to the post. But McCloma will have to stand by her side.
Absolutely, Lewis worked the circle really well there, creating space down by the baseline.
Bayman looking for options, finds Gascoigne first. Long ball to Bayman at the top of the circle, and Cookie, she does make those decisive runs. Great work from England, accurate with the passing.
Gascoigne out on a contact penalty. And great vision into the Welsh circle there. And Thomas puts it away.
Strong passing from Corbin, but a little too strong there. Wales at 3-3 with the turnover. England though winning it back. And the ball down to Housby quickly.
Great pressure by Cookie then to get the interception tip. Housby will get another opportunity.
Great shots.
Doesn't make a mistake twice in a row.
Jones from the centre. Loose pass. In fact, it's a penalty pass from inside the circle. And Lewis in, staying neck and neck with England in these early stages, Lynn.
Yeah, very good competitive start by both teams. No one's really got their nose ahead yet.
Corbin looking for options, having to go back through Gascoigne. Big high pass.
Good pressure by Wales, forcing the long pass. Corbin wasn't able to keep it in. And then, unfortunately, Wales do exactly the same.
Both sides just need to tighten up a touch here. Too many unforced errors.
They just need to look after the ball and take their time bringing it down. Okay.
Good grab by Cookie in the rebound. Puts England's nose in front again.
It's probably one of the only times you'll see Housby's stats standing at 33%, 1 from 3 so far. Long way to go in this game though.
Lewis won't shoot from that far out. Bethan Dyke on the edge of the circle for Wales.
Yeah, good talking by McCloma in there, working with Gascoigne. Got the contact against Chelsea Lewis.
Gascoigne at the right-hand wing. Cookie Playing that long ball, and that enables the interception. Good spot
really
by
well
Rosie
read.
Pretorius. Bayman from the sideline. Cookie. Bayman again. Very quick 1-2. Trying to get into the circle. Loses options. Neither attacker could get free. And now Housby.
Yeah, that was good rotation by Cookie and Housby. They're creating space. Defenders didn't quite know which of the moves to follow, and it just allowed the circle to open up there and the ball into Housby. She didn't make any mistakes on that one.
Corbin. Cookie. Nice landing with the splits. Takes England up to 7. A 3-goal lead opening up. Not a lot in netball terms, though.
Now it's one lost centre pass, and then getting your own the next time round, and you've closed the gap by 2. So Wales really need this one.
And it will be Bethan Dyke with Bayman by her side. Stacey Francis there at wing defence, back in the side for England this match. She sat out the game yesterday.
That was really good defence in there by the England pairing, Guscott and McCloma, putting pressure on. Really the only ball was that high one in, and just wasn't space for Chelsea Lewis under the post.
Great ball into Housby, good vision. Very swift work by England.
Wales really need to try to get a turnover here, otherwise the gap's just starting to get a little bit big in these early stages.
Fern Davies getting her composure back on court. Housby's getting so much game time in this competition, given to her by Tracy Neville. She's earning that game time, indeed, as the first time out of the match is called.
Yes, I don't think Tracy would be giving anybody any court time if they weren't earning it. I think that we saw one of the earlier games in the tournament where she wasn't quite happy with the combinations, and Tracy Neville, as England coach, no problem about making quite what some people say with ruthless, but actually this level of performance is required. Housby's earning her spot out there, and be interesting. The tournament's going out live, as we know. The viewings from Australia and New Zealand, wondering how the England players who are playing down in the ANZ are feeling about watching it, seeing how well England are doing in this competition. One or two of them might be wondering, well, what does this mean for me in terms of my place? It makes it very, very competitive.
Given the time difference, I imagine a few of them are downloading and we'll be watching later in the week. There are some people who've been watching it through the night, though. We've had some tweets of those staying up with the coffee, getting the pot on at 3 in the morning to follow the action live, which is great commitment.
It's netball, Alison, and of course people are going to be committed to it.
So on the Wales bench, Trish Wilcox, the coach there, and it was Kyra Jones who requested the timeout, and perhaps that right thigh of hers is bothering her a little bit.
It's been heavily strapped all weekend. Now they're into the second to last game of the tournament. People are playing twice a day, at least one of the 4 days, so it is very physically demanding on the players, but really good preparation for when the teams head down to Sydney for the World Netball Cup in August.
Long ball down court to Lewis. Oh, great contest from Corbin. Oh, she's been pulled up though. No, it is England's ball.
I think they pulled Wales for offside.
Francis. Oh, it's taken a tumble into the England bench there, but she was doing a level best to stay onside, and then a slip. Very much in the wars. Stacey Francis, lovely overhead pass, well weighted. So 9-5, with the 4 goals in it. Umpire asking for the clock to be stopped now because of that slip, just making sure there's no moisture down there on court where Stacey Francis slipped, so they'll mop that up.
I guess it'd be a worry that actually one of the players, when there was a timeout, might have just stood, and the girls were working so hard out there, might have been a little bit of water on the court. It's not typical to see Francis on the ground like that. A little bit concerned about the trainers being a bit slippery there, as you can see. Just trying to...
Oh, there she is, just trying to mop up any moisture she might have in her trainers. That's the sort of attention to detail that you've got to take out here. she's quite happy. She's not hurt in any way, but I don't think she expects to be sitting on the ground cleaning her shoes during an England international. So all ready to go again. The umpire will signal the clock to start. Bayman, Cookie. Bayman down the side of the court into Houseby. Cookie drive into the circle. Almost taking out the umpire as well.
I don't think the umpire blinked then. Just stood her ground. Maybe she should be playing.
Another chance for Cookie. Thomas, long ball across, intercepted by Sasha Corbin, but gaining possession back again. Jones. Dyke. And Thomas neatly into Chelsea Lewis. Oh, high shot going awry. After Gus got to mop up and England to clear out. Oh, it's interception, Wales. Switching play back into their possession.
The defence of both teams are working really well out there. I think crowd didn't quite agree with that umpiring call, contacting against Wales, and Kira Jones took full advantage and picked it up.
1-2 with Jones, and again with Lewis.
Nice little 1-2 working itself in, gaining some space, forcing the goalkeeper McClellan to go back.
It's amazing how just the inch shuffle, the 1-2 that enables you to get that inch closer to the post makes the difference. Cookie. Long ball with the switch. Oh, wonderful, Cookie.
The speed with which Cookie covers the circle, works herself in, and when she cuts in front, she cuts so effectively that she cuts right to the post. It's a really good ball there.
Lewis taking Wales to 7. Just the 4-point lead for England, though. Francis finds Cookie. Contact called on the goalkeeper. And this wonderful high shooting action from Helen Houseby.
I think Chelsea Lewis from Wales has just indicated to the umpire that he's got a bit of blood on her there.
Yep, so that'll be the timeout. So they'll have to clean that up, won't they? Cover, yep. Make sure any wound is covered. And also if there's any blood on the dress, that'll have to be changed.
Yeah,
too.
I think she's managed, it's just on her arm at the moment, probably just a clash of bodies causing that sometimes. Doesn't look particularly serious. I'm sure she'll be back on court shortly.
How do you feel Wales are contending with England at the moment? Should we expect any changes at the break?
I think it depends what happens in these last 3 minutes. When this combination are working well and they're keeping possession, actually they're doing really well against England. It's just the couple of unforced errors, and England are being particularly clinical today in converting from the turnovers. They seem to have come out on top in terms of those first few minutes, a bit of nerves from both sides. I'd be surprised if Wales do change it at quarter time.
Well, we need the 5 goals in it at the moment. Now, Wales ranked 8th in the world, England up in 3rd. As I mentioned, Wales have had a win over Trinidad and Tobago. It's a good win for them, and the dramatic draw against Northern Ireland. That was a really pulsating match to watch, wasn't it?
It was very close, and in actual fact Northern Ireland had a shot on goal in the last 2 seconds, right under the post, and unfortunately didn't convert.
Yeah, Wales could have very easily found themselves on the end of a narrow defeat.
I think it's fair to say the tournament this year has been very, very competitive, and that was a fantastically well-timed interception by Gus Koth, really reading where the Welsh were going to put the ball.
Good back for Wales from the sideline. Jones.
I think McCloma judged to have contacted from behind.
So Lewis for Wales. Simple shots to sink from there. Bayman of Manchester Thunder takes that centre pass, working it down to Corbyn.
It's good movement off the ball there by Corbyn to create space right on the edge of the circle.
Now, Cara Jones in there with the switch, but
just went offside. Yeah, it just went offside in the circle when she got her hand to that ball. That was good pass by Bayman.
Penalty shot for Cookie. Takes England to 13. Passing out through Drain to Dyke. Dyke again having to go back over that third. I think that was happening just off camera to the right-hand side between...
Yeah, I think Chelsea Lewis, the goal shooter there for Wales, was alleged to have contacted McCloma using her arm. I think Lewis was just asking the umpire for clarity. She wasn't quite sure what she'd been pulled for.
It's inside the centre third, so it'll be Francis to take. Corbyn down to Bayman. Housby, I think a decisive move in the circle.
Fortunate. Yeah, pulled back for the contact outside the circle. Sometimes wonder whether playing the advantage might be also an option for the umpires.
Good contest for the ball. Rosie Pretorius getting involved as goalkeeper.
That was a great dodge by the England shooter Housby there.
Good work with the 1-2, just leaning her, shuffling that front leg back towards the post as she went.
She creates so much space for herself in the circle with her ability to use her split landing effectively.
Quickly back to McCloma to get the ball moving again for England at the end of the quarter. Long ball, brilliant work, hitting Housby right on the stroke of the quarter time. That whistle's going to go imminently.
They're going to want to do exactly the same again, England.
Not enough time.
Not quite.
But again, real smart work, that awareness of time to get the ball down under that post, but also to hit Housby and make that goal count. So 15-8 then England with the lead at half-time. So have a listen in on Tracy Neville and hear what her instructions are to her team.
This defender was in there with everyone over here. Helen, really poor option. You should have seen that. Sarah's out in this position. So if we do open up that one, just be careful. If we win that, remember it's the transgression. Someone else has to get out of that shot and out of that. Really good work to make through. Really good work to make through. Make sure you're really clear on your on your pad, on the back. Just look at changing that direction. In the circle, support each other. Yeah, no one really shot. What we're doing is we're pushing the ball into them. So let's push the ball out, let's really have confidence. Talk to them that calming voice. Yeah?
Well, the message being support each other in the circle, make sure the communication is clear, and just keep that confidence going.
Yeah, I thought it was a good start once England had settled down. There was some good movement in the England shooting circle. Both Housby and Cookie were creating good space for each other, using the circle well with support from Bayman and Corbyn on the outside, really feeding in well. Not always using the first obvious pass because they've seen where the space was being created by that first move. So overall, good start. And 15, 16 goals a quarter is usually at this level, and a coach would like to see at least 15 to 18 to really be effective. And England are in that ball court. Clearly Wales will be disappointed, I think, having only put 8 on there. And in that last 2 or 3 minutes, they really allowed that 4-goal gap to almost double, really. Having said they might not change, Wales might very well rethink. They were struggling to get the ball into attack. They are obviously not creating the opportunities at goal, and they've got to do something, otherwise England are going to really step up and be too far away by half-time for them to do much about it.
Wales instilling confidence in each other with the huddle. Desperate to try and get a win over England that would help them towards the European title. This matchup is one that Wales really would have been targeted to try and get at least closer to England. Wales, as you mentioned earlier, Lynn, having won the European title in 2013 when the last Open Championship was contested. England then had sent more of a development side. Corbyn desperately tries to keep that ball in play. Bayman looking for that long ball and hits Housby.
That was great vision. Bayman was off balance. She was looking one way left and then obviously saw the space create under the post for Housby.
Housby again out of position, out of the circle. Here goes Cookie then. Penalty shots, makes it easily. Jones for Wales. Van Dijk.
Yeah, Jones has moved to wing attack for Wales. Brought a new centre on and changed wing defence too. So they've shuffled their mid-court Wales. Clearly felt that they weren't getting the penetration down to their shooting circle.
Yeah, Wales winning possession. There's Jones in the new position of wing attack. Oh, Guska.
That was really well read. The space was there, but at least you thought it was until Guscott had other ideas. I think that's the strength of Guscott and McClomber in there. They're almost tempting Wales to pop the ball over to the shooters, and they're closing them out very easily at the moment.
And the little vital fingertip from Stacey Francis, but couldn't quite keep the ball in play. Here is James on at centre. A big grab by Chelsea Lewis. Contact called this time against Guscott.
I don't think teams always make the most of that dead ball situation where you've got one defender out and only one against the 2 shooters.
And remember that so many of these players will be very familiar with playing against each other. What with oh, there's James.
Well, it's a good advantage played by the umpire there. She allowed the game to go on, even though clearly the Welsh centre was offside. It was a good call.
I was just saying that the Wales players are taking part in Super League, most of them playing for the Dragons. A grab by McClomber.
And that was footwork, yeah.
Nearly very good.
That was a quick reaction by Thomas with a 1-2 off the England centre pass there.
And Housby unmarked by the post.
And anything that Wales can do, England can do too. Wales are struggling that second ball from the centre pass. It's coming out, but then they don't really have a lot of options where to go next. That was better.
Yeah, Lewis did well there. Being marked pretty effectively in the circle by McClymont and Guscott.
Housby's timing in the circle is really impressive. She doesn't go too early, but when she moves, it's decisive, and it creates a huge amount of opportunity for her players to see her.
Nicola James. A quick 1-2's being blocked out of the circle by McClymont at the moment. Lewis calls for the overhead. And well in for the rebound.
Well done, great timing there by Chelsea Lewis. Pick up the rebound and score from it.
Wales stay within 7.
Yeah, Wales are actually up in this quarter at the moment. A bit more communication needed by the Welsh goalkeeper and goal defence there, both going for the same player. I think that's Kyra Jones playing wing attack. Another issue with her thigh. I'm a bit concerned.
Yeah, so the second time that she is receiving treatments in this match. She's such a pivotal player for Wales, though, isn't she? If she's on the centre position, as we've seen, she can play on that wing, but she's very much a key playmaker for the Welsh.
She is very much so, and she's obviously shows a lot of leadership qualities on court as well. The Welsh team feels very grounded when Kyra Jones is on the court there. I mean, clearly she has an injury there. I'm not quite sure if it's strain, if it's quad, or possibly quad. It's ice in the front there. She actually limped off the court there, so...
Yeah, a big question mark as to whether she'll carry on, but she's in no hurry to remove that.
You never want to go off as a player, no. Even when you're injured. I'm sure.
She's one of the non-dragons in the squad. Team Bath and Kyra Jones, originally from Perth in
You can't call the Welsh
Australia.
girls dragons, Alison. I know what you mean.
Yeah, originally from Perth in WA, and qualifies through residency with the British passport. So England, though, comfortably in the lead.
I guess there's some tactical decisions for the Wales bench here, because they've got another tough game coming up this evening. Last game on the court between South Africa and Wales, and there'll be decisions about, well, how close are they going to get to England? Will they beat them in this game? Do they need to rest some of the players? Will they go out tactically to want to get the win against South Africa? And all that's got to happen in that sort of
the split
2 minutes of injury time.
Now Jones is continuing in this game. The South Africa match, of course, has relevance in terms of qualification, relevance rather for official rankings points. But this one also counts towards European title.
Exactly.
She did well to keep that in play, Cookie.
Really, what sometimes is not appreciated is for all the players at this level and all the teams, their core strength and the amount of work they do around that to enable them to make moves of that nature really takes a lot of... I think the crowd thought there was a bit of footwork there.
Bayman. Penalty pass or shot. Oh, rather wild pass from the centre. So McClymont to Francis. And that Sasha Bayman, who's been watched by her sister Kadeen, who picked up an injury during the Trinidad and Tobago Test Series, so not playing in this championship.
No, Mum Kadeen is here as well. Mum Corbin, sorry. So you've got Sasha, Kadeen and Mum.
Yep. Team Corbin. Housby to take England to 26. The goal defence will have to stand by side now. Easily done. And Thomas with the high ball through to Lewis, well taken.
Yeah, great ball. I think Wales need to think about what their sort of tactics and strategy are in attack. They get both the shooters in, and you've got Guskov and McClellan in there against you. Lewis and Thomas, it makes it slightly more tricky, so maybe the idea is to create a bit of space and get the ball in early, as Lewis does hold a good position under the post.
No, Bayman's lost out. A bit of a rueful smile she gave.
There you go, so maybe that clearly is the tactic, but perhaps that was just to push Lewis a little bit too hard, too close to the back line. Cloma had that covered.
Cloma then up to Francis, who's calling for it. Bayman wants it as well, she's unmarked. But priority is working into the circle. Well controlled by Bayman. But for this pressure from the Welsh defence. The foul lets them bring the ball into the circle for the penalty shot. And this time Wales able to bring the ball into the circle, pops it up nicely. Yeah, strong move by Cookie.
Yeah, two options there created in the circle. Bayman had Hasby at the top, but Cookie under the post is an option.
Emma Thomas, fantastic shot. Cookie, Housby. Contact on Bayman. Cookie in a very good shooting position. Jones looking for options. Oh, but an easy interception by Guskov.
Oh, well picked up by Francis. Yep. She really read that and reacted quickly.
Bayman did a good job in protecting the ball as well. Rare ball through the hands.
I just need to get their options down the court. Keep possession.
Wales ball, Nicola James. Lovely shot by Thomas. She's popped a couple of those away.
Yep, great shot under double pressure of Guskov and McClellan in there. Closes the gap to 11.
Pretorius doing a level best to try and keep Housby out of position, but it's very, very difficult.
Yeah, I think Wales are chasing a bit rather than trying to get in front and at least slow down and prevent the movement of Housby. And England have an interception bringing it back down again.
Umpire judged that the ball ran out of court. Housby wasn't able to control it. Moving the ball through, James down the centre. Oh, McClellan getting the final tip.
I think that just demonstrated the pressure that England are putting on every single pass all the way down the court. That to the point, oops.
Oh, and just possession to England.
Yeah, indecision there. I'm not quite sure what each other were doing in the circle from Wales.
Oh, and out of nowhere, Pretorius. Housby makes it 31-18. The Manchester Thunder shooter. There she is again, that long reach with the arms.
Yeah,
Brings
it
that
was
ball under
really
control.
well, absolutely, really well read by Corbin there as well. Saw the space, and it was a really well-timed pass to the circle. See what Wales can do now. England doing a good job in getting bodies in between the Welsh players, making it very difficult for the passing in.
Foul by Gysgotho. So the penalty pass. Oh, poor miss for Wales. She would have expected to get it in from there. England struggling for options to work the ball out. Flying take by Francis. Super long ball. Eventually the penalty shot for Housby. So calm, so accurate.
I actually wonder if she actually does show any emotion at any time. I'm sure she does. But on court, she's just so super cool.
She has a certain steeliness, but not in a, almost not in a negative way. It's just an utter calmness.
It's almost effortless, is the way I describe the way she plays. I said the other day, she reminds me of Borg, Bjorn Borg.
Francis getting the intercept.
Oh. Wasn't convinced Thomas was going to give Lewis the ball then, but she did, and Lewis converted.
Seconds ticking away. Wales be keen to get that ball in that circle as quickly as possible, but not when Stacey Francis is there. It's Corbin, England's turn now. Get that ball in. Cookie to convert with seconds left, but she'll allow Housby to have the go. I'm sure with Helen Housby, her heart must be racing inside that chest of hers, but you would not know it from her exterior. There she goes again. 9 seconds remaining. Housby takes England on to 35. And that is it for the first half of this match. And England now 35-19. I think they'll be very, very happy with that quarter, Lynn Carpenter.
I think it was a good first half for England. It wasn't faultless. I'm sure there'll be areas of the court they want to work on. There was a number of unforced errors in there, and I expect the England bench will be asking them to eliminate some of those. Wales fought their way back into the game at one point when we're within 11, but clearly England have pulled away again. So effective half by England there.
Well, here's Trish Wilcox then on the Wales bench. Well, from Trish Wilcox, the key message is just to slow everything down. Don't rush.
I think when you play a team that has the ability to switch from defence to attack quite as quickly as England does, there's a tendency to sometimes not play at your own pace, not play your own game, to be kind of dragged into that that speed, which on occasions is absolutely fine for Wales, and they're more than capable of playing like that. But they've just got to find their own sort of pace and approach to this game. When they control the ball, bring it down, allow the shooters to create space, they're that much more effective. If they start rushing the ball, and England, to be fair, are putting a huge amount of pressure all the way down the court on that tight man-to-man defence they're playing, it is forcing them to be a little bit off balance when they pass, to put the ball up too high, and that's allowing England to take too many interceptions and turnovers at the moment.
Yep. The other thing, chasing too much in the wing defence, which is a tough one against Corbyn. They did belong to the England bench, all those sweets. Got to get the sugar and keep the sugar levels up.
Well, Netball Europe did tweet Haribo this morning, because I think if you look around the arena, everybody eats Haribo. We're really keen that Haribo consider some formal sponsorship for us. So if they're listening, we're really interested.
I prefer jelly babies myself. I think dancing's a pretty good way in the half-time break to keep players keeping themselves warm as well. I do see them jigging along sometimes. I've very much been enjoying the PA system here. But yeah, for all these players, it is about impressing Tracy Neville and making sure that they do everything they can to put themselves in the best possible contention for the World Cup in Sydney. And Sonia McCloma is surely going to be a key part of England's World Cup campaign.
She's a contender, that's for sure, but England have got some fantastic defenders there. They're not only the people who are here today and the players, but also those who are still down in the ANZ. Ebony Beckford-Chambers, Jay Clark, just to mention a couple. So, as I said earlier, there really is a competition for every single one of those 12 seats on the plane to Sydney in August.
Yep, all those players in the ANZ, Joe Harton, Magic Jiva Mentor playing in Melbourne, Jade Clark with the New South Wales Swifts, Serena Guthrie out there as well, as we're back underway.
Yeah, don't forget, Jiva Mentor was named one of the 4 top sportswomen in the world. A pretty impressive accolade, and very well deserved. Yeah,
she's a superb athlete and outstanding netballer. So Wales with plenty of work to do here against England.
They have, and all the players on the Welsh bench have got exactly the same challenge. They want to be on their way to Sydney, so it's really important that they perform here.
Wales in a group with Fiji, Uganda and Zambia at the World Cup. That ball pops up nicely.
Yeah, some of the unknown teams that they're going to come up against, but some of the African teams like Uganda, their pace of development has been tremendous.
Cookie with the real reach. Keep it in.
A little bit too much from Butters there, just slightly pushed Cookie too far.
Well, Wales absolutely ringing the changes in this quarter. We'll go through the new 7 for you in a moment. In that attacking, shooting circle, though, for Wales. Bell at goal attack, Thomas has gone to goal shooter.
Yeah, Sam Cook coming on at goalkeeper for England, made her presence felt with that interception, which allowed England to bring it down. Hoursby with the ball, penalty shot.
And Francis, you see there's gone to at the other end for England. Stacey Francis has gone to goal defence, just out of shot on the right. Butters back on again, centre for England after making her debut during these European Championships. I was looking for a way through and they can't find one.
Wales really struggling to get through that effective England defence there. Forced a turnover. Greenway on now. Wing attack for England.
Cookie looking for Greenway again.
Good shot by Housby. England are pushing that gap closer to the 20-goal mark at the moment. Another really effective drive by Pamela Cookie there. Force the penalty against Wales goal defence.
And she gets a second chance. Cookie takes England to 38. Beckham Dyke's taken the position at wing attack now for Wales. Nicely into Bell. Yes, and she's cheered for Sarah Bell from the Welsh contingent here. There's even an inflatable daffodil to our right-hand side up here in the stands.
It's not doing much waving in the wind at the moment, I'm afraid.
It's got a chair all to itself, though. Such an impressive size. England ball. Butters. Greenway then to Cookie. Neat 1-2. It's a Surrey Storm partnership showing itself. And into Cookie, 39-20. Infringement on the third line.
Yeah, another breaking at the centre pass. I think we've seen too many of those this tournament, really.
There's really no excuse for it, is there?
No, not really. And unfortunately, in close games, it's even more frustrating because it can lead to a 2-goal difference just by that one mistake.
And in a close game, makes players even more eager to try and steal the march at the centre pass and be first out. But
yeah,
got to wait for the whistle. But
it's well read by wing defence. Davies there for Wales.
And the penalty pass against Greenway. But now England possession.
Replaying the ball called against Jones at Wales centre.
Cross court from Greenway, the square path. Housby. Cookie indicating a hand in the back. Neat release from Cookie. So Sarah Bell, yeah, good shooting so far from Sarah.
Yeah, 2 from 2 so far. Pamela Cookie's indicated got an injury, perhaps tweaked her ankle there by the looks of things. It's interesting to see Sam Cook on for England at goalkeeper. She's becoming a regular feature. I actually remember seeing her for the very first time as a player. I think it was, I'm not going to say the year, I think it gives my age and hers away. But probably she was about 13 in Loughborough. And you see these players when they're coming through and you think, that person's got a huge amount of potential. And here she is, playing in the England actual national side extremely well.
Nice when you've got an eye and you can spot them, Lynn.
I wouldn't say. I think she was so obvious that any of us could have done, to be fair.
There she is, jogging back onto court. Sally Butters for the England centre pass. A new cap during this tournament. Greenway, edge of the circle. Butters calling for it. Butters had an outstanding Super League with Yorkshire Jets. Oh, unlucky Cookie.
She did, and she deserved her England call up here. I think she enjoyed her first test for England and played well.
Feeding in now through Dyke, and James has the ball. It's Arbel trying to get it in, but Sam Cook doing a good job of goalkeeper, but unfortunately the penalty against her. And Emma Thomas now in the position of goal shooter. Yeah, Butters and Greenway are two differences to the squad that took on Trinidad and Tobago for England. Those two have come in for these championships specifically.
I think that again just shows the depth of opportunities and choices that England netball have, that they can bring such two different squads to the test with Trinidad and Tobago, and then the series here this weekend.
Butters, oh, good communication and nice working with triangles.
Yeah, that was really well read. Good pass into the circle there by Greenway.
Butters very quick with the centre pass. Yeah, a bit of a shove there from
I think
Kidner.
the Welsh defenders really just need to get their positioning perhaps a little bit more on the angle. They're a bit too flat, so when they are trying to get the ball, inevitably is causing contact.
Sam Cook sporting that war wound. Long ball to Francis. He's looking for Butters, but she stumbled a little. Francis again. Cook.
That was so great. Again, when you watch Cookie and Hasby in there, they started off very close together. One peeled forward, one peeled back. Defenders split, not quite sure. There's bound to be an option, which there was. That's
Terrific.
great. Watching Greenway there, she looked at three options and chose the last one before she passed the ball. Great vision.
Chose the right option. And all these players, their decision-making abilities under pressure is unquestionable. Netball at the highest level, everything happens so fast. You have to assess options in a matter of a split instant.
That was much better by Wales, creating space through to Thomas on the back line there.
Greenway to Cookie. (46-23).
You just sense Wales want to step up the ball. It's a little bit too easy in there. They really are. The front four is struggling a little bit at the moment.
Inside the circle then, Cookie. Housby with the shot. Unusual miss from that distance.
Yeah, but better pressure by the Welsh goalkeeper and goal defence in there. Oh, well read by Stacey Francis there. Brilliant timing on the interception. And anything that England can do,
Yeah, really good
Jones
grab.
a wing attack for Wales can do as well.
Fair effort to have a shot at goal from there.
I think the umpire had already pulled offside,
Yeah, that's right.
unfortunately. Great turn by Greenway.
And speed from Housby to Cookie.
Next, Jones for Wales indicated she's got an injury. Sure, that's her ankle.
Yeah, Nicola James just
yeah.
to the right-hand side of his shot there, bobbing down on on court. Tracy Neville stepping in with some instructions there is Nicola James, a left ankle by the looks of it, from Swansea originally, Nicola James. Looks like she's able to put some weight on it. Here's some of the goals that we've seen, and Pam Cookie back in the England dress and leading England with her usual distinction after she missed the Commonwealth Games. And Helen Housby, who's 20 years old and new into the England side. Looks like she's been playing in that dress for years.
Well, it does. You have to remember, this time last year, she never played for England. You know, a year ago, she was not somebody that, obviously, clearly, Super League fans would have known about her in England, but not much broader. And I think what she said is, I'm here, I'm ready, and I want to be selected.
Yeah, no doubt that teams from around the world who might be watching this have certainly noticed Helen Housby. Don't forget, you can get in touch with us on Twitter. Hashtag is Netball Europe, and indeed the handle at Netball Europe. And tweets coming in reaction to some of the earlier matches today as well. Scotland, Jordan Cullen says, amazing teamwork today. Thistles, great to take the win against such a strong and physical side. That was Scotland getting their win over Trinidad and Tobago. We can certainly keep communicating with us. Damien Hearn says, come on Wales. And it's England with the possession.
That was a great pass by Butters there. She found Cookie right in the circle.
So James from the centre pass. Well contested take from James.
Francis and Cookie, oh, well done.
Yeah, very good vision.
It's unfortunate.
England moving this ball down court with real speed.
That was a precision pass there by Greenway. Cookie had both keeper and defender on her, but they did manage to get that ball through.
Greenway back down that right-hand side of the court. High ball this time to Cookie. Very well weighted.
Tantalisingly close for the wing, the goal defence of Wales.
Oh, the long ball cross court didn't work. Butters pulling the ball out to Greenway. Bayman. Cookie outside the circle. She was looking for that quick 1-2. Unfortunately, the fumble and the repossession. James, oh, Stacey Francis making her presence felt. Butters, the feed into Cookie, she had plenty of room there.
Just feels a little bit scrappy down in the Welsh defending in there. They perhaps need to get their distance sorted out, perhaps not give away quite so much contact, and just make it a little bit harder for England to get the ball in the circle.
There's that grab from Francis, the interception, won England the ball back. But they're going to have some defending to do. Sam Cook's got the ball, won it back for England. A little too high for Francis. Pressure by the England defence, keeping Wales out at the moment. Double marking on the goal shooter. Splitting again once goal attack comes into the circle, but a nice shot from Emma Thomas. Oh, Housby taking it in front of her face. Wonderful shot, straight through the ring.
Very clinical finishing there by England. Cookie and Francis are being so effective in there. Sam Cook at keeper, putting pressure on the ball in and out the circle. It's really hard for the Welsh wing goal attack and goal shooters to see where the actual space is in there for them.
Penalty shot on goal there from Emma. Thomas decides to pass instead. And it's for Sarah Bell to put away. It's still a 26-goal deficit, though.
Oh, that was a great pass into the circle.
Yeah,
By Greenway there.
That's the
And
third
that was
quarter.
that was the awareness of the fact that the quarter was running down there time-wise. Got the ball into Cookie and England scored again.
Well, 27-goal margin. I think England really have stretched away during that quarter. But the raft of changes from both sides, and for England, Tracy Neville getting a real look at some different players and different combinations. Wales, do you think it was a similar thing, or for them actually trying to, get the best players out there to try and pull back that deficit? But let's just hold on for a moment and listen to Tracy Neville. She's down there on the bench. Tamsin Greenway in front of her.
Self-respect to responsibilities, where you're driving, keeping things really clean. I know it looks easy, but let's really try and really work on the things that we saw in that video. Okay, so I'm asking you to do that when you come back. So your principles, everything, driving hard, taking them defenders, clearing your lines, let's get into ball circle. So now I don't want to see any attack challenge, because we've cleaned it up to get back to that attacker. So let's really focus on that going forward.
Well, so much of what Tracy Neville has to say is about discipline, and when you're that far ahead, very easy to think, well, this match is won, but it's keeping those errors down and keeping the passes accurate that will see you home.
Well, and it's at this time where if you want to really set yourself some very specific tasks, a way of playing, a sort of a routine, and in terms of the way she wants to bring the ball down, this is the time to do it, because if you can't do it when you've got a gap of this nature and make something work, then you're never going to be able to do it when you're in those really tight, close-to-close games.
Off they go again now is Halsby. Halsby switching to goal attack. Wonder if Wales will make some changes. Rachel Dunn for England is coming on at goal shooter.
I think the Wales team only has perhaps one player who so far hasn't been on the court. It's I think one of the newest players in the squad. I think we've got a player on the bench, Georgina Rowe, hasn't played yet, so they bring her on. This will be her first cap. Very exciting for her.
And there's no missing which player Georgia Rowe is, because she's the tallest player in the tournament. You can see there, standing shoulder and head above her own teammates. An incredible 6'5" tall Georgia Rowe, and she's only 20 years old. Presuming she's done her growing now, do you think, at 20? And look at the cheers, I think. I think the Welsh contingent have noticed that Rowe's taken to the courts. And goodness me, well, that's a challenge for the England goalkeeper Sam Cook now to contend with. Wales then with the centre pass. James. I wonder how many overhead high passes we'll see into the circle to Rowe, but not when England win possession back like that. Butters. Halsby was there, but Dunn also beneath the post. Oh, that's a good interception from Pretorius.
I think Dunn was looking for the earlier contact, but it wasn't called. Halsby picked up.
Now Pretorius is penalised. So England getting the early goal off the Wales centre pass. Butters.
Oh. Good defence there by Wales. Saw that pass coming, closed the circle down. Oh, it's just that attention to detail, the unforced errors when they turn the ball over.
Just about to say everything Tracy Neville was saying about discipline and that quarter-time break. So I haven't quite seen it yet. There's been a lot of errors so far.
One of the statistics the benches all look at is their conversion from a turnover. And I suspect on the Wales side there'll be a reflection on that this evening, that perhaps they didn't do as well as they should have done.
Another missed pass.
Let's see if Wales can actually bring this down to their own shooting circle and get a goal scored.
So Jones having to go back, doesn't have the options from the mid-court. Jones down to Rowe, getting her first touches on the ball in a Wales dress. Oh,
Well,
Stacey
Redden.
Francis contesting well for that overhead, the high ball. Here we go, Georgia Rowe, first shot on goal for Wales. And hers is a terrific story, Georgia Rowe. She hadn't played netball before, and her dad saw Melissa Hindman, the former Wales coach, driving down the road with Wales netball on the side of her car, and basically called her up and said, "I've got a really tall daughter. Do you reckon she could play netball?" A remarkable rise for.
Well, netball is known for looking for what they call tall timber, and I think Georgia Rowe fits that category very well. But, you know, height isn't everything in this game, and as we've seen from some of the other teams here today, we go from the height of Georgie at goal shooter for Wales down to Yvonne Barry for Malta at 4'11".
Incredible, isn't it? A game to suit everyone. And Stacey Francis still seems to be slipping a little bit out there, almost lost her footing there as she pressed off with her left foot. Housby, there again. Oh, unlucky Rachel Dunn. Had to,
good rebound for Rachel, but just that little bit too far off balance.
Quick ball by Wales and a good block by Cook.
Yes. Well, showing a little bit of misunderstanding between their players there.
Francis did well to get that ball down to Butters, and Dunn is there.
Nice ball into the circle. Yeah, I don't think we've seen Wales convert off a turnover yet this quarter.
Butters searching for options. Rachel Dunn missing a couple since coming on as goal shooter.
Let's go, D! Let's go! Big D!
Oh, and Dunn
dear.
didn't know what to do with it then. Was looking for somebody under the post. No, Rachel, that's your position. There she is now. But 55-26. Jones. Yeah, good
hand
defence.
there. Malcolm really stretching himself, timed her interception really well. England will be comfortable with Rowe for Wales coming out of the circle there. That was a nice screen between the Welsh goal attack and goal shooter, created space.
Greenway. Dunn competing there up against Rosie Pretorius, who's back on in the goalkeeper's position for Wales.
Nice ball, T!
Nice little
Yeah,
feed in by Greenway then, finding Dunn under the post.
Let's go, England! Turn it!
Wales are really struggling here. The gap's nearly up to 30 goals. Just under 10 minutes to go.
Here we go, Georgia Rowe. Sarah Bell. Wonder if her students are watching. She teaches PE and maths.
I'm sure they will be.
Oh,
Especially if they've tuned in. Good interception by Wales.
Well, went one way then the other, but Malcolm being penalised in the end.
Oh, it's real good pressure by the whole England team there, forcing the overhead and outside of the court for an England throw-in.
Greenway finds Francis. Dunn, the long ball switching across the circle to Butters. Greenway into Dunn. Yep. Dunn and Greenway, both Surrey Storm teammates, winning the Super League together, so they have a good understanding on the edge of the circle. Greenway with the feeds in. It's Jones. Morgan on at goal defence now for Wales. Kelly Morgan, 28 years old. Jones again. Oh, big take.
Willing Wales to get that ball into row there to let her get her first international goal.
Malcolm and Cook working well together to get the ball out for England. Malcolm.
We've seen a little bit of Wales chasing really here rather than trying to dictate where England are going at the moment.
Halsby with the penalty shots. Clean through. Sends a pass to Butters. Wonder if her family's watching again. They're at a wedding in Noosa in Queensland for the last match, and they staying awake till 3 in the morning.
I saw the tweet of that. Friends down in Noosa, so they'll be watching as well.
It is a gorgeous part of the world, Noosa.
Beautiful. So, hello if you're down there in the sunshine.
Rachel Dunn, 59 for England. Jones looking for options, has to take support from behind. Long ball down court, she wants it overhead, does Rowe, but instead it's Sarah Bell who's there. Well done with the rebound. Hey, she gets her first international goal. Well cheered, Georgia Rowe. I think that was a hint of a smile there.
It's a great cut through the back of the circle to create space there in front of the post by Housby.
Midway through the final quarter, it felt like a more scrappy quarter, this one, than the previous. It started off with a fair number of errors and mistakes, but Rowe now another chance.
I don't think either team have really settled as well as they might have done in this quarter.
Wales making 5 changes, no less, for this quarter, with Pretorius at keeper, Morgan at goal defence, Kidner moving to wing defence. There's a very quick ball there. And Halsby just keeps it on board.
Yeah, I do think the Welsh bench will be thinking about that game this evening against South Africa.
Yeah, got to keep some of those legs fresh.
Well, yeah, and when you look at the world rankings, there's only 2 rankings between them, so on paper it'll be extremely competitive.
Jones from the sideline for Wales. Butters is doing some zonal marking. Bell, well contested by Butters. England win it back. Chance to really surge down here and get the ball into Halsby if she can make it into the circle, but instead, Dunn.
That was a great transition from an interception by Malcolm.
Contact on the wing defence. Contact again called against Kidner. 63 for Housby. 4 minutes left. I wonder whether England hit that 70 mark.
It's certainly possible. Wales will be doing everything to make sure they don't.
Absolutely. Jones. Rowe calling for the overhead for an instant.
Wales are bound to be disappointed by this scoreline today.
Now can Georgia Rowe sink another one for Wales on her international debut? Yes, she will. Long ball cross court, Dunn coming out of the circle. Housby's losing it. Turnover for Wales. 3 minutes left in this quarter. Oh, that's a terrific
great ball
long
in by
ball.
Bell. Well converted.
Well, that's the advantage of having somebody 6'5" under the post like that. She can reach up and contest for those high balls, the long balls as well.
And you can see from that passage of play that when Wales get their timing right and they work the ball down, they can do really well. But then the next attack, another unforced error, unfortunately.
Butters trying to find a way through to Dunn. Shouts of jump, jump coming from the stands to try and encourage Morgan. There, the goal defence. Oh, the deflection of that centre pass, somewhat fortuitous. Lovely shot again from Housby. Straight into the circle. That's the hit goal down there.
Oh, there's a bit question mark there about perhaps a little bit of a knock on her arm.
Nice 1-2 between Dunn and Greenway.
It shows a great level of understanding between those two players. On the one hand,
sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Wow, Stacey Francis airborne as she tried to intercept that, but the ball will be taken back to inside that goal third. Malcolm. Housby. Dunn there, nice reading between Greenway and Dunn. Less than a minute to go on the clock. England about to confirm a comfortable victory. There's still some seconds left for Wales to get some goals onto the board for them. And for Wales, certainly, in terms of the European title, goal ratio is taken into account if they were to end up level on points with one of the other teams. Francis with that rebound. England eager to get one more goal. And they hit Rachel Dunn. The clock running down. England make it 68. They still have possession. A penalty pass or shot. 3 seconds left on the official clock. Wonderful long bomb from Rachel Dunn. And as the final whistle sounds, England are victorious. They put 69 on the board to Wales's 32. And it means England win their second match out of 2 in terms of the European title. They move on to 4 points. And Lynn Carpenter, England, showed their superiority over Wales in that match.
They certainly did today. I mean, it was a real decisive victory, you know, good clear 8 goals in each quarter. They ran the bench, so everyone was out there, and actually all the combinations seemed to be quite effective and well drilled today. I think overall England will be really pleased with that performance. I think on the other hand though, Wales will feel really disappointed. I don't think they performed as well as they could do, and in fact as they have in this tournament so far, and they've got a lot to think about between now and 6:30 when they face the mighty Pretorius this evening.
Yep, South Africa have been in the arena. They certainly were earlier today, having a look at some of the other matches. Tamsin Greenway there with their Surrey Storm teammate Rachel Dunn, discussing a very good win for England over Wales. As I said, they now go top. I think Tracy Neville's pretty happy. As one of your old teammates as well from England in the background there, Lynn.
I think that's the Amanda's the 8th player from the class of 99 from the World Championships who've been here in some form involved still in netball 16 years later, which is pretty impressive.
That's a very good record. Let's just have a look at the last goal for England, which went in with just seconds left on the clock. And how far out, right on the edge of that circle, Rachel Dunn. If this was in open play, she would not have shot from there, but with just seconds left on the clock, perfection.
Well, and also Dunn's awareness of the fact that the clock was at that point, because I've seen so many players go to pass the ball not really realising what the time was and giving the penalty away. But of course, you know, Rachel Dunn is really effective at the fast net element of the game. So actually, you know, in terms of shooting from out there, she's good. She's very consistent, and she can put the ball up. Clearly, she demonstrated today.
Well, more players putting in performances for Tracy Neville to contemplate as she looks at how she'll shape her World Cup squad in Australia, and indeed for Wales, because they are at the World Cup as well, and Trish Wilcox has taken them there. So Greenway there and Dunn have played a part themselves today in the England victory. So let's take a look at what we've still got to come today. The final match in the development section, Switzerland take on Ireland. That will decide who takes the title, with Ireland really in prime position if they're going to win over Switzerland. And then Northern Ireland against Trinidad and Tobago. There'll be a terrific atmosphere in here with the home support for Northern Ireland, and South Africa, Wales to close out this Saturday of action here at the Netball Europe Open Championships. Still got another day to come with 3 more matches on Sunday deciding the European title. But here, thanks to Lynn Carpenter for being with us for this England match. And England have put themselves top of the table for the European title with 2 wins out of 2, 4 points. They go above Northern Ireland. They have beaten Wales 69-32. Join us in around half an hour's time as Switzerland take on Ireland. Bye for now.